So we're gonna start this test drive due to traffic getting on the interstate here. And just a little nervous. I got in the vehicle, it only had 6 miles of range left, according to the range meter here. And now it's at 0. I just put $5 worth of gas in it, so it's about a gallon and a half. And it still says the range is 0, but it's just a tad concerning for me. But on the other hand, the vehicle's not driving like it needs gas, so. So we have the lane centering on with the adaptive cruise. Really like Honda's system, and I've said this before, pretty on point just with being a highway driver aid. Very, very impressive. And a really nice ride coming down the interstate as well. And brake pedal feels really good, and surprisingly the vehicle was not difficult to get up to speed, even though it just has a naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder. But I mean, it does plenty in the Civic. I just figured it would be a little, I guess, less peppy in this HRV, but that does not seem to be the case so far. And really, a weird thing I like to point out, I really like the chimes in here. So like if I go through the drive modes, I just like how everything is set up. It's just almost soothing. So I have the HRV in sport mode now. I'm gonna turn the lane departure off because it keeps scaring me. But decently adequate, I guess, in terms of acceleration. I like that it keeps you in those high revs as well. But a little hesitant to shift. And I will say, for the most part, the normal mode is probably what I would use this vehicle in pretty much all the time, because it's enough. When you put your foot down, it does go. And it's really the most efficient way to drive anyway. Now in the Econ mode, the reason I said the normal mode is more efficient in my opinion, with just how I tend to have a lead foot, but just coming out of a stop, I'm extremely limited. And of course the Econ mode is meant for, you know, highway driving, going up and down hills, things of that nature on the interstate. But using it in city driving, it just kind of, it holds you back, and then you're having to put your foot halfway down, and there's really no middle ground there. So it's not like you can get a nice feeling acceleration curve. It's just you either are getting limited or you've got your foot all the way down. But like I said, for interstate driving, it tends to shine a little bit better there, but normal mode's pretty much the way you want to be driving through the city. But comparatively to Toyota CHR, and then there's really, I'm trying to think of other competition. Can't really think of anything else that I would compare this to at the moment, because everyone's kind of not knowing where they want to be in terms of SUVs and small hatchbacks, things of that nature. So after sitting at that red light for what seemed like forever, I started to think, I guess another competitor would be the Rogue Sport, and then you also have the Chevrolet Trailblazer, the Ford EcoSport. But this is still kind of a little bit smaller than the EcoSport in my opinion, but it might just be how it sits. But definitely the Trailblazer, and then you even have the Hyundai Kona as well. In that segment, it's pretty much evenly matched, because most of those either have a really small turbo engine or a 1.8 to 2 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, and it gives about the same power, same feel. So final thoughts on the HR-V. If you like the Civic and you don't necessarily want the hatchback, or if you just want something that just seems a little different, not everybody has, and you're not necessarily worried about how fast it is, definitely take a look at this HR-V, specifically in the LX trim level, because it is the most expensive one. You still get all of your standard features that you would expect or want in a vehicle, in my opinion, and gas mileage is decent, especially for something that you have a pretty big hatch in the back. So with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of the new 2023 Honda HR-V in the LX trim level.